Hello, welcome to Pecan Corner. This is Tina, and today I'm talking about creating a backyard wildlife habitat. The National Wildlife Federation, I don't necessarily agree with all the things that they support, but I love their conservation efforts for getting people interested in practices that help wildlife in our own homes, and in our own yards and our own apartment balconies. Because these little things make a world of difference in helping our native plants and our native animals thrive. So the NWF has a program where you can certify your backyard habitat. You can go down a list and you know, it's not necessary, but you can do this, and then you get a subscription to the magazine, and so it's a nice thing to do. It kind of lets the world know that you're interested in helping to promote the well-being of the little creatures who share our world with us, that God created along with us. So the first thing on the list is provide food, but the second thing on the list is provide water. And this is my water source. To meet the requirements for certification, you have to have at least one water source, and this is mine. It's just a bird bath. During the worst part of the drought about 3 years ago, when we were just dying for water, everything was in Texas. It was horrible. But we looked out one day, and this bird bath was full and had about 5 different species of birds in it, and a whole line of birds lined up on the carport above it waiting their turn, all different species together, desperate for a drink. Lots of we even had things like squirrels and possums that would come into the yards for the water. They come in the yard all the time, but they normally don't have to get water here. Usually they can get it somewhere else, but that was really bad. But it showed us how important this is. This particular bird bath, you'll notice it's got a little raised area in the center here, and it's got a kind of a wide textured area along the side here. These areas are very good to allow bees to drink. So not only can the birds drink from this, but also bees and wasps and creatures like that can come and can get a drink. I mentioned wasps. Wasps are my new favorite creature. Red wasps and dirt daubers are spider predators, and I don't like spiders, and we've had a real problem with them. And I used to spray for them, and it didn't help a whole lot. Once I stopped removing wasps from the areas around my house, after about a year of promoting the wasp habitats, we now have no more spider problems inside our home, because the wasps prowl around the outside, around the eaves, and they catch and kill those spiders before they can get to where they need to be. All right, number 2 on the list is, or the next thing on the list is to provide food, and I'll show you a few of my food sources for wildlife. Chili pecan, other videos, but I'll show you here. There we go. I used to doing this camera myself, and so I'm having a little trouble with it. All right, these little chili pecans, the birds love them when they turn red, and they will come over here and eat them. You can kind of see where, although I've picked some of them, a lot of them have been eaten by the birds when they've turned red. They just love them dearly, and in fact, they're often called bird peppers. This little pepper is the wild native pepper. It's native to Texas in this area, or southern areas below here, and they believe it to be the mother of all the cultivated peppers. So in America, so it's pretty cool little thing. That's good for the birds is this is called Pigeon Berry. This is a poisonous plant. It is not edible, but it grows in a bed here that has some shrubs in it. So you can see it's kind of out of the way. So I let it stay, but it has these berries on it that the birds will enjoy in the wintertime. We have acorns, and we have pecans in our yard. The pecans and the acorns both. The acorns mostly will feed squirrels. The pecans feed squirrels. They feed blue jays. These pecan trees provide habitats for woodpeckers. We often have woodpeckers in these trees. There and so they provide nesting places, which is another thing that's going to be on our list. They provide a place for animals to raise their young, so both the squirrels and the birds can create homes in these big trees. And that provides them with some cover. So that's 3 of my items that are food for these animals. There's a curious thing that we have that I'm going to show you, because our next thing is to create cover for them. So I want to show you something kind of fun and interesting. See these areas that have been dug? There's another one over here. This is where an armadillo has been digging and scratching around looking for ants. We have, see where he is? Lots of people don't like armadillos because, see, you can tell they dig holes. They make lots of holes in the yard, and people don't like them for that. However, I had been having trouble with ants coming into the kitchen after it rains. They wouldn't come for very long, but just for a couple of days after it rains. And it made me realize that there was a nest under the house, an ant bed that I, of course, couldn't get to. Well, this last time it rained, I didn't have any ants come up, and that is because this armadillo had dug himself a hole under my house and had gotten under there and ate and destroyed that ant bed. I'm going to show you. He has a burrow around here. I blocked the armadillo out from under the house. I don't want him under the house. It's not good for him to be under there, and that lets cats and other animals get under there that shouldn't belong there. But as you can see, he has dug a great big burrow here. This is actually one that I believe was here last winter. It's the same location that we had an armadillo last winter. So he may have even come back here for this year. So this is my little burrow. This is one of the create cover. And for cover, you can do all kinds of different things. This is one of them. Another one is rock pile, brick stacked. That provides some cover for, especially like lizards. They like things like, they need places like that. Ground covers, having some evergreens, brush piles or your log pile, little berry patches, or bushes. We have some bushes that I'll show you that some birds like. Covers are really good habitat for animals. Any kind of bushes that, oh, we lost a log branch last night. Any kind of heavy bushes provides them with cover. And as you can see, there's a bird nest in there. That is probably a cardinal's nest. We have a pair of cardinals who nest here every year, and they come back. And so you can see that little nest. It's fallen down. It's upside down, but it wasn't built that way. It was built to, let me see if I can get it. Get it where you can see it. There it is. Okay. There it is. This one's fallen down. Like I said, it was up. This is left over from last spring. But we do have a pair of cardinals that will come into the yard in the spring, and they come back every year. We have several that come over the winter and will hang out. You can also put up, of course, bird houses, roosting boxes. The dense shrubs are really good places, though, because they're so protected. Nothing can get up in there to them. So those are just wonderful places. Caterpillar plants, if you've got a butterfly garden, so that the you've got a place for butterflies and caterpillars to eat and hang out on, that's hugely helpful, and that can be one of the items that you use in this. More dense shrubs. I suspect these are looking pretty good this year. Last year these were completely stripped over the winter by the over the summer by the grasshoppers, so that by the time winter came, there were no leaves on them, which is probably why the cardinals went into that other vine over there. But this will be some nice habitat for them in the spring. Sustainable gardening practices are really important in attracting wildlife. Now this, like I said in an earlier video, this year I've done no yard work, so I have some seasonal annual weeds that have come up in this. But this is a patio that I built out of decomposed granite. I put it directly on top of the grass that was already there. You can kill it, you want to kill it out first, but you don't have to have a bed of sand under it. You don't put plastic under it. You just put your gravel out on it. So I removed, I don't know how many square feet this is, probably at least a couple of hundred square feet from my yard, and created a patio that now come spring I'll get out here before the weeds get started and clear them all out, so that we have a nice place to use in the summer. But anything that you can do to remove remove lawn. Another thing that I have done is I'm replacing gradually St. Augustine with buffalo grass and blue grama. You can see the blue grama and the buffalo grass is kind of getting a pretty good start. It's taking it a long time. It's really slow. I didn't do so. I'm trying to go back to native grasses. So all of this is all that buffalo and blue grama, and you'll see that under my oak tree here, I'm just kind of letting it go to whatever is there. I do have to kind of fight against these little hackberry trees that come up everywhere. But the native plants, the yellowwood sorrel and this dollarweed and all these different little native things, they make a fine ground cover, and they keep it covered for most of the year, except for the very hottest part of the year. So it takes so much less water to do this than the St. Augustine did, and I still got quite a bit of Bermuda, which has to be mowed. The other nice thing about the buffalo grass is this is as tall as it gets. You don't really have to mow it. You can have a nice fluffy looking yard without mowing if you use this. Whereas with Bermuda, it's going to get very tall, and you're going to have to mow for your own safety. I'm going to show you in the front. You can use some landscaping techniques to make it look nicer where you don't have to mow. Evergreens. Now this is one of those non-natives that they don't really like for us to use. It's what do they call it? That heavenly bamboo. It's really not very good, even though it has berries and it's evergreen. They tell us that it can become invasive in certain parts of the country. So mine has been here, for 40 years. It was here when we bought the house. But if it goes away, I will not replace it with another one of these. I'll get something else to replace it with. My crepe myrtles are starting to turn. And you can see I leave my leaf litter That's another good thing to do for your wildlife. Now, if you're having troubles with bugs, you need to clean all that out. We're not, so I'm leaving it for fireflies is what I want. The fireflies need leaf litter to lay their eggs in and to grow in, and so if you've gotten your house sealed up on the outside and the inside so that you don't have invasive kinds of pests coming in, then you can afford to start leaving your leaf litter for things like the lightning bugs. They don't know a lot about lightning bugs. They don't understand a lot about how they grow, but one important thing that we do know about them is that they require undisturbed fallen leaves in order to reproduce. So keep that in. This yard was all St. Augustine, and it looked really beautiful, but the St. Augustine died out in the drought, and so I did plant some white clover, but otherwise I'm just kind of letting it go back to native grasses. So as things come up here, you'll see it still looks green. Now when it's in the height of the hot summer and it's very dry, this will look pretty dead. But if you just let it go long enough, you'll get to a point where your yard looks nice and green most of the time and has good coverage, even when you don't have a single species. There are probably, I don't know, there's probably 30 or 40 different kinds of plants over the course of the year, maybe more than that. There may be 80 different things that over the course of the year will come up and be green here, and I still have to mow them, but you know, in the spring we'll have the spring weeds. Right now we're getting some henbit and some things like that, but in the spring we'll have stork's bill and the wild geraniums, some of those kinds of things, and they'll make it look nice, and then they'll die off and something else will come up in their place. So you don't have to have a single species to have it look nice. If you can kind of get a sense, see how the border and having a little evergreen edge with that monkey grass on the border, all this yard ever needs is to be mowed and it looks manicured. And I'm not big on yard work, so this has been a lifesaver for me. I very seldom have to use the weed eater, and mowing is a very simple task. So I've got some more ground cover around here. See, under this tree. Check it out. Many years ago, somebody put a wagon rim. That's a rim from an old an iron rim from an old wooden wagon wheel. Can you imagine? And I guess it'll still be here long after I'm gone. Lots more of the ground cover here, and there's a little crepe myrtle. Got a bunch of crepe myrtles on the other side. This one just kind of came up. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Don't think they come up from seed, so I'm not really sure how that one got here. But I weed whacked it a couple of times before I realized what it was and let it go, and so it actually bloomed this year. So that's pretty exciting. This periwinkle stuff, I have to go through about once a year with a weed whacker and knock it all down. Same thing with the monkey grass about every second year. And then I do trim my hedges. They're not trimmed right now, but I do keep these. I have an electric hedge clipper, and I do keep them nice and manicured. I just like the look of it. So anyway, those are the things that you need to do. You need to we don't use any more chemical pesticides, and we don't use any fertilizers on the grounds. And I do compost. I won't bother showing you my compost bins. I'm sure you know what those things look like. But I hope that you'll take a look around and maybe go to the website. It is www.nwf.org, There it is. Let's see if you can see it there. How to help, how-to-help / garden-4-wildlife.aspx. I'll put it in the notes at the bottom so that you can see. Go and take a look at what the kinds of things, and see what you already have and what you can do that can make your yard more friendly to the wild creatures in our world. All right, thank you.